Filming this is going to be easy, but living it is going to be the real test.
Living what?
The life you chose when you decided to come back.
Thank you, Aisha, for joining us.
Thank you, Saqib.
Let's talk about first Kashf.
Kashf is my first feature film. It's called Kashf, The Lifting of the Veil. It explores one man's journey back to Pakistan to look for his murshid, which within the Sufi tradition means his Sufi master. Another part of the story deals with his cousin who's looking to be a movie star, and the only industry he can find at that point is Lollywood. So it's got a very spiritual exploration going on in the film, as well as a very entertaining and humorous side to the story.
I am a movie star.
Petition?
जी.
Acting?
जी.
A camera. Cut!
When we talk about Sufism in Pakistan, it's a kind of sensitive subject, and I don't remember that in Lollywood, Pakistani film industry, it has been touched yet.
Not recently, because I think really it comes down from a practical standpoint that the industry is deteriorating so quickly that the subject just, kind of didn't come up. My reason for exploring Sufism is because I think it very much is part of our cultural tradition, because I feel very strongly that we as a nation have to have our own cinema. We have to have our own stories, we have to have our own identity being told within this medium, because otherwise your image is going to be controlled by other people.
Everything you are about to see has happened to me. My return to the city of my birth, Lahore.
Whether you believe in it or don't believe in it is not the question. I think the poetry, the stories of these saints that we have, the Sufi peers, permeate our country, permeate this particular land, which we call India and Pakistan, the subcontinent, for like a couple of centuries now. And I wanted to explore that.
Hello, are there any Sufis here?
Something happened that you called out to your murshid.
My whom?
You also made a documentary film about Pakistan, Made in Pakistan, the most dangerous nation in the world.
Well, actually, it's called Made in Pakistan. And the reason we went and made the documentary is when the Newsweek article came out and subsequent articles and subsequent branding of Pakistan by the West, constant branding saying that we are the most dangerous nation. Myself and my producer were very upset about that, because I think it's very, very wrong and irresponsible of journalists to actually take a country, a fairly normal country. Yes, we have problems. Every country has problems. Take a fairly normal country with people who have a desire for a progressive Pakistan and brand it in such a terrible manner that nobody is talking about it in any other manner now in the West. So we decided to make a documentary following 4 working professionals, 2 women and 2 men in Pakistan, to give a more positive understanding of what this country is about.
Our world consists of more than 190 countries. Located near the western plain of the Indian subcontinent is Pakistan. Various political strategists proclaim Pakistan to be the most dangerous country on earth. Populated with 164 million distinct people.
Pakistan,
I believe Supreme Court.
Afghanistan,
Emergency.
success, inshallah.
Struggle.
Protest.
Target.
Uniform.
Benazir. Really sad.
A lot of chaos.
Stand up for Pakistan.
This is the story of 4 Pakistanis.
I can't give you time. I need it done now. Now. मैंने आपको घंटा पहले टाइम दिया था.
मैंने काफी देर से मैं वही ढूंढ रहा
Well, it should be done. घंटा हो गया है.
Nobody likes to do these things. I mean, protest rallies, all of this. But what choice do you have?
Fielded myself as a covering candidate for my father, so I'm gonna get the papers back. Otherwise, I'll be in competition with him.
So this section is called Censored History. It deals with a certain aspect of history that people really don't know about.
And we've had a tremendous response. We've just finished actually a couple of weeks ago. We're already getting booked in by theaters in the US because they say it completely shows them a different side of Pakistan, which is very positive. Completely positive side, because we are making fun of the West a little bit, that you cannot, what is this black and white situation that they do always, that, you know, everything is bad and everything is good. Everything is mostly gray in life. And that's what Made in Pakistan has turned into.
Made in Pakistan, the documentary.
So Made in Pakistan gives a totally different picture of Pakistan to the Western audience.
Yes.
And also you say this same thing about Kashf.
Kashf actually was more like we were exploring, you know, it's a narrative feature, it's a feature film. We didn't realize the impact it would have on American audiences, just because it does not deal with anything political. It does not deal with extremism. It just is dealing with one man's very existential journey. Who is he? Who are we as human beings? And for some reason, that's hitting a nerve in the American audience where they've just never seen anything so human. A story so much of like a human interest coming out of Pakistan. And they haven't seen those images in the West of how beautiful our country really is. So it's interesting, the response has really taken us by surprise.
For somebody who has, you know, not had the experience of having friends or been to the region, then I'm sure this film would definitely change a lot of perception.
It's very inspiring to see somebody, a young artist, produce something which gives a completely different view of Pakistan. You know, the softer side, not the hard one. And I think it's the soft message that needs to be sold.
Certainly, I don't know a lot about Pakistan culturally, but I felt like that wasn't the point. It was just an entertaining film to watch. You know, just the interaction, everything. It was very humanizing, I think, in a lot of ways, to just kind of have that different perspective come out.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. I actually traveled to Pakistan quite a bit, and I think that this has really opened up people's impression of the country.
It was was a welcome change because it shows Sufism as the moderate side of Pakistan. It's an alternative, or rather the answer to extremism or terrorism or those violent responses. So I really liked it, and I think this is something the Western audiences see more and more coming from Pakistan.
Have you found what you were looking for?
And we've had a tremendous response to the soundtrack because we've been playing in a couple of radio stations, not just here, not just in the US, but in the UK as well. And one of our songs has become a big hit called Khayal, which is a very pop techno beat.
Thank you.